that gave the enlightenment, somebody that understands the present moment and understand the suffering and the happiness. So with the Buddha, there was a man which name is Siddhartha Gautama Buddha Sakyamuni, who discovered a opportunity to reflect about the suffering. He recognized that all the beings, all the living beings suffer. And with that, he started to practice meditation, contemplation of the present moment to find a solution of the suffering. So the Buddha, the historical Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, is the main character in the foundation of Buddhism. But there is many people, many masters, and many other people that practice in Buddhism that we also call as a Buddha, because Buddha is a concept, not just the person who founded the Buddhism. So with the Buddha, we have the birth, which is very important because with the birth of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddhist community start in the practice. Also, part of the Buddha path is to find the enlightenment, which means to understand what is happening with our body and what is happening outside in the environment. So with Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and also with many others people that practice Buddhism, we understand the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths are the main doctrine or theology in Buddhism. So I wonder if some of you can help me to read each of them. I wonder, Lisa Murphy, if you can help me with the first one, please.
You should know sufferings.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Mudita Tibara, can you help me with the second one, please?
Yes, Vasuji. You should abandon origins.
Thank you, Mudita. Alison, can you help me with the third one, please?
You should practice the path.
Thank you. I wonder, Amardi, if you can help me with the fourth one, please?
You should attain cessation.
Thank you. With these Four Noble Truths is how in Buddhism we understand the path of enlightenment to find the Buddha nature. With Buddhism, we have a long history, and I'm sharing with you here about the Buddhist timeline. So we find a common beginning with Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha, when he founded the Buddhist community. But with that, Buddhism traveling in places and many cultures, and also get connected with many of the cultures in the places in which Buddhism arrived. For example, my tradition in the Zen school, we are very connected with Japan. We start our practice and the main rituals, also connecting with the culture, the language, and the environment of Japan. But also here in the United States, we receive the Buddhism in all the expressions. So I would like to share why personal experience about Buddhism in my life. So for me, all my family is part of the Christian community. My husband is Muslim, so we are a interfaith family. And I met Buddhism almost 8 years ago when I met the interfaith movement And during that time, I connect with the Buddhist community. And 3 years ago, I was ordained in the Buddhist community to serve. So Buddhism, the practice that we focus on is on the silence and the practice of Zazen, which means sitting meditation. Principle, we just sit in a moment to practice some time of silence and to contemplate the present moment. So with that, I would like to invite all of us. Actually, we start this meeting with a meditation, but I would like to invite you for just a minute to close our eyes and to practice just the contemplation of the present moment. So together, closing our eyes, I invite you to be mindful of your body and be mindful of everything that is around you, of this present moment in which we are here together with the beautiful diverse of religions and faith expressions. Be mindful when you breathe in and be mindful when you breathe out. Breathe it in with peace and breathe it out with love. And slowly open your eyes to come back here with this beautiful group of friends. And with this, I want to thank you for the opportunity to sharing and also to open the conversation for any questions that you may have. And I want to explicitly thank our diverse faith communities in Buddhism and meditation centers, which I mentioned here, for creating together this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Vasu. That was so nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really loved the meditation at the end too, the moment that we had to close our eyes. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Vasuji.
So much. If there are any questions, anyone have any questions? No? No? Okay. Great. Thank you so much again for the presentation. We go on to our previous business. I'm sure that you all had a chance to look at the September meeting, and I would like to have someone approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from the October 13th meeting.
Second. Thank you so much. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Okay, next is the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report, pretty simple. So we're starting to bring in some, I'm sure you're all, if you haven't turned in your 2023 dues already, you're just about to do that, aren't you?
I did it.
Yes, everybody here did it already. So anyway, and a lot of you have done that too. So thank you for that. And so I have two things up. So basically, that's showing the ones I got in so far. I still have some that, okay, yeah, see it's up there. And so far we have 525 in. I just received some checks tonight. I won't go into that, but that'll be on the next month's report. And also sold 5 stoles for 125. So altogether we brought in 650. and adding, and then I reimbursed Abigail for some printer ink. So we started out with 4604.84, ended up with 5217.12. Everything reconciles with the bank statement. And that is my report. Yes.
When are we up to date on paying the newsletter editor?
I believe I will double check on that, but I believe I
At
am.
least quarterly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but I will write that down.
Thank you.
Any questions from the remote viewers? Okay, I will entertain an emotion to approve the minutes or approve the treasurer's report.
I'll move to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second. Okay.
Very good. And everyone in
I'll
favor?
send them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so on to continuing business. We had a wonderful meeting here at Sikh Temple. Last month, it was Faith and Blue event with the Poway Sheriff Department. Some of us participated and some of us missed the meeting, but it was a wonderful event. Could I have someone that participated in it, maybe give a short overview of how it was and what they felt? Go.
It was interesting. It was very good. I'm from San Rafael, and the two sacristans in San Rafael attended, and it started out great with what you should do Sunday mornings to protect, to make your worship space safe. It did kind of stop there. It did went into the how the Poway police are educated and trained, and it was interesting. And you could rate a little bit to your parish, but we're not in Poway, we're in San Diego, so couldn't quite relate, but it was interesting.
Yes, the sheriff department and the sheriff deputies, everyone that participated, they had all their gear and everything, and they came
They looked good.
just dressed the part, basically.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? And how was all of that? How was the interactions?
Well, I thought it was great, and they have a chaplain, and she was fascinating. The
Right.
chaplain was very, very interesting. Talked about some of her experiences and ministering to a place that has had a mishap.
And she was also responsible not just for connecting with the community, but also helping educate the sheriff department and all the deputies and everyone involved, right, in the right course of action. Like, for instance, if they were entering the zone that might have needed further insight or information, she would provide that. Amandeep, do you want to share a little bit about
Sure.
what you expressed with regard to conceal?
Yeah, I think it was good from, if I say a Sikh-centric perspective, because we do carry, some of us have articles of faith, which otherwise would be termed as a weapon, but you kind of, when you say it in that connotation, it already comes across as though it's something hostile, which it is for none of us. So I was saying, well, if you can change the language a little bit from weapon just to say knife, it's a commonplace thing, then it kind of makes it less hostile. That was good. But what I took away that was really good, that I had no idea of, was the services they offer. So for example, like this Take Me Home program, where you could register for it, and it's, it's basically, the way I saw it was for people that maybe have autism or may have trouble communicating, that you can get them on this registry. And if there's an issue, they can easily, like, you know, someone's lost or not where they're supposed to be, you can easily put a message out to them, and then they can dispatch it to everybody, be on the lookout, know who to look for. I think we can make use of that for some of our elderly people that don't speak the language as well, that, you know, you can kind of get them involved in some parts of it. And I think the other thing that I took away was really good was their volunteer programs that I didn't know they had for kids. So high school kids are always looking to kind of, how can I get volunteer hours? What can I do? And I think the aim is for them to connect with the sheriff's department in the same way like the FBI have a citizens academy, and you can get an insight into how the sheriff can help, because otherwise there's always this, you know, kind of understanding that it's the police, and so you don't talk to the police, or you don't kind of get involved, or, you know, it's just how things are made up. And when you see all the things that they can do and help with and be involved in that, I think it's great. So I've actually made an appointment for my daughter to go over there, and they'll do kind of show her around the sheriff's office, what it works, what it goes through, talk to her about the volunteer program and how it works. And I think they take you on ride-alongs as well, as long as they know it's going to be safe. And then I think it's a good insight for it. So it's a lot of, you know, for our youth that we have, a way for them to kind of get engaged as well. So I thought it was really interesting from that perspective, that they're out there to tell you, this is what we can do for you, you know, to try and get in touch with more of the community. So I thought it was excellent.
And the chief actually, removed,
Captain Menzies
yes.
was quite happy to wear a turban, which, you know, goes back to my adage that everybody looks better in a turban, and you don't think of it, but put it on and it transforms you. So she was a great sport to be able to then tie a turban and have it tied and wear it and take pictures. And I think, like I said, I'm thankful for the opportunity from Point to letting us host it. And, you know, I think everybody should get a chance to do it. But if we need another venue next year and there's nothing going, we're quite happy to have it here. And, you know, let's advertise it more in our communities and get more of an attendance. But for the first one, I thought it was really good.
Right. It was a first meeting that we had that actually they had, you know, within the community, where they went to a faith organization or a gathering place and entertained questions, answered questions. Basically, we had some questions that we asked them to kind of prepare and come back with answers and talk to us after that. And it was the part where we all socialized. That was great too. I thought we sat at the table, we ate, you know, together, and they got to see more of us, and we collaborated and we connected more. Anyone else?
I think it was good to hear that they wanted to engage more with us as well. So that's always encouraging.
Yes.
So
right. Excellent. After that, again, as a reminder, we have a November 15th meeting. It's a Tuesday. Let me put up that actually, yeah. Sherry, could you go over that while I try to put it up?
Please promote this. It is our annual Interfaith Thanksgiving service. We are having it hybrid. In-person event will be at Community Church of Poway. It is Tuesday, this next Tuesday, November 15th. Yes, November 15th, this Tuesday.
that's gonna see.
At 7 p.m. Even getting the people that are involved. Oh, Tuesday on Wednesday or whatever. So Tuesday, November 15th, 7 p.m. Community Church of Poway. And of course, invite your communities, invite your friends, because every member in your faith community is a member of Point. And we don't even check membership cards at this event. Wink, wink. So please come. This is it really, and this year's a little bit different than we've done. The planning team has intentionally made it a little bit different this year. And you know, it's been wonderful. We've had many wonderful years under the guidance of Reverend Advocate, Dr. Lori. And this year, Michelle, Mitchell, Gangadeep, and myself, we're doing something a little bit different. So we'll see how it goes. But it will be wonderful. And so join in person if you're comfortable. If you join in person, just like tonight, there will be refreshments, right, Allison? What reminder do you want to give us all on that?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we will have refreshments. If you could have them there either around 6 o'clock or bring them whenever you're coming. If they're already plated, it would be helpful to, then you can bring them right before. If they're not plated yet, it'd be helpful to bring them a little bit earlier so we can get them all set up and everything arranged. So if anybody hasn't let me know what they're bringing or needs some help with getting it to the church or whatever, please contact me, cell phone, email, whatever.
Oh,
Thank you.
Allison, I think a lot of cookies are coming from my faith.
Well, I've been in communication with Darlene.
Okay,
And
good.
she and I have worked together on this several years. Together, we make a great team, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in a few years, so I'm really, really excited to work with her.
Oh, wonderful. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town, but I'm going to Zoom in.
Okay.
But I'm like, so I kind of like, Darlene, help. And anyway, slam dunk.
She's great. So I'm very excited. We'll get it all set up and put together, and it'll be fine.
Awesome.
So again, it's a Zoom meeting as well as in person. It's a hybrid meeting, but if you can make it in person, it's going to be fantastic.
It's a great event. We've got 2 different children's choirs, soloists. Our Susan Lipson from Temple of Dot Shalom. Her new album is actually dropping on the 15th officially. And so she will be there to sing, and there'll be CDs available afterwards. I mean, she has some early copies, of course, right now, but anyhow, so that's exciting too. And so it'll be good. It'll be very good. And, so please come and invite folks. Michelle, did you have any, or Mitchell, you have anything else you want to say?
I think you hit the highlights. Richard James, who was the music coordinator at our center for many years, is going to play the piano, and we have some lovely congregational songs to sing, and it should be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
And I will have there will be a client story from Interfaith that'll be shared as well. So.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, our offering is all going to benefit Interfaith Community Services.
Yeah. And just a reminder, like it said on the flyer, to make sure that if you're doing checks, to make them out to Point, and then Point handles sending over the check to Interfaith.
Great. All right, terrific, fantastic. Okay, moving along. After that, we have our wonderful meeting, which I'm so excited about. When it comes up, I'm so happy about it, and I can't wait. Basically, hopefully it will be a great event again in person. It's the Harmony Breakfast. And this year, it's it's what we're expecting, basically. Hopefully at the location in
Mainstream Cafe is our tradition. Now, we typically have it on the Wednesday morning during Interfaith Harmony Week, the first week of February. Now, this is Steve Albert's thing, but he is otherwise occupied caring for his beloved. So, but he sent Ron and I, a couple of us, an update. And so I tease him as he's Dr. Wynn for World Interfaith Network. Through that, Steve is organizing a global potluck, or at least, United States and Canada and Mexico, so North American global potluck. And so different groups will be having a potluck. It'll all be the same time, but it'll feel like different times because we are all live in different time zones. Okay, and so, so Steve, so there's two different events. So our traditional event is Wednesday morning on the breakfast. And then the other one is on, and that's February 1st. And then on the 2nd is the World Interfaith Network is putting to honor World Interfaith Harmony Week with a North American potluck. And so points time would be about 4 and 7 are potluck. So we gather in person and even Zoom in, maybe, I don't know how that, you know, and have a potluck here while people on the East Coast are meeting at 7 p.m., you know, starting theirs till 10, and he's gotten all the time zones ready. So the question that Steve has is, do we want to do both events, one of the events, and which one, right? I mean, so we're coming down.
Right. So again, normally we have a morning breakfast gathering, and it's a wonderful event. I really love that.
Yeah.
And then there is going to be an additional, something separate from that,
But
in the afternoon or evening.
On the same day?
The next day.
The next
So
day,
Thursday
between
the 2nd.
4 to 8 p.m. Let me just actually put that up. Can we put it up? Let everyone see this? Or just us?
I guess you can. There's nothing. So, but basically, Steve's question to us is, do we want to have the breakfast? Do we want to participate in the potluck? Do we want to do both, neither, or one or the other? That's basically the question. I want to call in Jarvis.
Yeah, okay, Jarvis.
I vote for the breakfast at the Mainstream Cafe.
So
Just
you can
one?
get burnt bacon.
Huh?
So you can get burnt bacon.
So I get my burnt bacon
And
and
toast.
burnt English muffin.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. I think continuing the tradition of the breakfast
we
is a
should
good
be-
idea.
Yeah, it's packed with people and people, the local,
Community
Community leaders.
Yeah, from school board to elected officers to law enforcement, you know, often town. We're only about 3 months away, and so we would need a planning team for that event. To me, that's still plenty of time to do it, but if we vote yes, we all agree. I don't know, we can do it by consensus, probably. We're on to decide that.
Okay, so do we want, all right, who wants to have just one meeting? Should we just go?
I would, well, right now we're discussing harmony breakfast.
Right,
Why don't we just ask how many want to continue that?
okay, how many people would like to have the Harmony breakfast at the Mainstream Cafe, you know, in person, and maybe we will have a hybrid as well?
Maybe.
Okay,
You can't eat piper.
right,
That's a whole nother type of bread.
all right.
I think I've only attended hybrid.
On the,
It's just too early in the morning.
it is
coming from
early,
East
so we
County
checked it
for
at
me to
7:15.
come in.
Right,
So,
okay,
I've never been there in person.
so the majority declared that they would like to have that,
Great.
would like to hear that.
Okay, great.
And what discussion is there about the potluck on the Thursday afternoon, evening?
That's more interesting for me.
It is interesting. We would need a location to hold that in.
I mean, we could always have it here if there's
Oh.
enough interest in it. But
Can you put up the picture that Steve sent?
the only issue with having it here is that you're limited in your potluck
Right. Well, and
items.
you know, I usually whenever we have Point has potluck, we try to at least do vegetarian, but we can make that egg free as well, right? And because if it's vegetarian, then it's also not just for Sikh, but for Buddhists. It's halal for Muslims, it's kosher for Jews, you know, so we
Yeah,
don't.
so I mean,
you know.
if if we need a location, then we can always, Thursday from 4
4
to
to
8, right?
8, I guess, yeah.
we're not using this space,
Downstairs
yeah.
or upstairs, either way. Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing for 4 hours?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a long.
Chatting, and I think it's a long time.
That is a long
Yeah.
time. It can be very tiring.
Well, it
And
might
I
just
guess
be-
it's more like an open house, then you can come and, yeah, because I don't know if I'd stay for 4 hours.
Yes, go ahead, Michelle. Sorry.
Well, one of the things that I asked Steve asked me about this a couple of months ago. And I mean, is it just that we're all having a potluck at the same time? Because there doesn't seem to be any interaction between the groups, which would make it more interesting, but it seems like we're just all eating in our own place and putting it on Zoom. I didn't really see that there was a meaning or a purpose behind it, except for to notice that we have a lot of different interfaith groups. So my question is, is there a deeper meaning? I mean, why are we gathering? Does that make sense? It's like, okay. I mean, it's great that we have this many interfaith meetings, but there's no communication. I don't really see the point, I guess.
Should we defer this to get more information and then see, maybe in December, we decide at the next meeting whether it's something worth doing? Like right now, we can determine that if we want to do it, I can offer the venue downstairs. So at least that way, it's not going to be a lot of kind of finding out what's going on,
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
great.
know other
And then
places
you
to
just
go.
make sure everyone knows about the dietary
Yeah, but-
restriction.
But then by the next meeting, if we want to go find out more information from Steve to see what it entails, then if there is a deeper connection to it, it's not just bringing food and eating it and no idea what everybody else is doing or just
Yeah.
seeing other people.
Well,
eating on
I think we
the-
are going to see them. He did send a picture of what he thought West Coast would look for. And I was trying to see if Miran can
Yeah.
get that up. So, yeah, I guess we can all see one another. But I guess we can tell our concerns too about the length of time. That's a long time to,
Very long time. Unless you've got a real program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, if
exactly.
there's a real program and people from different sections are gonna talk or say something.
Yeah. and
That's a whole
lot
lot
of
of
story.
people.
Exactly. That was my point. When I talked to Steve about it earlier, he didn't seem to think that there was a program, that it was just and so maybe he didn't have all the details. I don't know.
yeah, and that's, okay, so yeah, here's the picture. And this is, this is our brother Steve, who is a wonderful dreamer
Yep.
and visionary.
Yeah.
And then Abigail and the rest of us come up with the details, So, yeah, so
Let me try to get it bigger.
it sounds like we're all good with
Now,
our
was this
traditional
something
mainstream.
that was
Well,
gonna
we
be
just
East
need to
Coast,
have-
West Coast, and Mexico?
Yeah,
On Canada, US, and
Canada.
Mexico.
So 4 different groups
And
meeting?
that's at least 5 time zones.
Yeah.
And then groups throughout each of those time zones.
Right.
but all at the same
But what's the
time.
purpose of the coming together?
It's just that we're all breaking bread at the same time. I don't know if breaking
Oh,
bread
okay.
is, that's
And
probably
if
more of
that's
a
the
Christian
case,
thing.
we could break
Oh, but
bread
the
in an
concept-
hour.
It's the concept's the same, right?
We
I know.
don't need-
It's just about,
Yeah, we
community
get that.
together.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
It's not really going to be at the same, because I mean, it says that when the East Coast would finish, we would start. It's
What?
not.
Well, no, he was saying that it would be 7 in the East Coast, which would be 4 at our
I
time.
know.
So that is 3 hours
Well,
apart.
let me read
Yeah.
what, maybe I misspoke it.
Yeah,
On February 2nd, 2023, the World Interfaith Network is planning to honor World Interfaith Harmony Week with a North America potluck, where interfaith groups in the United States, Canada, Mexico will be invited to hold an evening interfaith potluck in their city from 4 to 8. Okay, so it's all 4 to 8. Each
Right.
potluck will be held in a large hall, sorry, I don't know what's that hall, or not in a faith location with a large video screen. There will be one host city which will create a Zoom link, and all the other cities in that time zone will link into it. So all the interfaith groups in each time zone will be holding potlucks at the same time and appear on the Zoom page as part of group of parties rather than individual faces. They may coordinate prayers, speakers, and their entertainment together. This will start at 7 p.m. on the East Coast, then an hour later in Central, an hour after that in the Mountain Time Zone, lastly in Pacific. As it begins in our time zone, all the interfaith parties in North Grand will be celebrating together.
And as you can see, all those groups, this is the California group.
West Coast, yeah.
Yeah, these are the West Coast. They're all California, as you can
Oh, yeah.
see. Yeah, CA. So there's Poway, there's Fulton. Yeah, so all these groups that say that we get to meet them. So kind of. What do you think?
There's something in there that seemed like a contradiction when you read it, Sherry. One said all at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
The 4 o'clock here is.
Right, I
It-
misspoke.
so it's like 4 to 8 o'clock. So when it is 4 o'clock here, it's 8 o'clock there.
There will be, well, no, it'll be some overlap. And part of it, I was going from memory on a first draft that I had read,
Okay.
not from what Steve just put out today. And so, yeah,
So the
everyone's going to
common
do
time
4 to
is
8.
between 4 to 8, wherever you are. And
So there will be at least an hour overlap is what he's thinking. Although I think Nova Scotia is in a 5th time zone.
yeah,
And Hawaii,
but
Yes,
4
as
is
well.
Well, Hawaii's 2 hours
It's behind.
further out.
Yeah.
So you're really talking
There's at
about
least
5 hours between. And if you're looking at Finland, then you're also looking at 6 hours worth of time zone.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
So it is something that is worth more investigation, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, I think so.
They need to
and,
flush it out more if they're what they're
right,
expecting to come up on.
So I do agree that maybe we'll just wait and get a final word on that at our next meeting in December.
Yeah, but if Armadillo can, we can kind of know that we can meet. down
Yeah, absolutely. If we need
downstairs.
to meet downstairs, we can. So let's just get more information and then determine whether it's something we want to be
Yeah.
involved in and do. And then, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Great.
for that.
Thank you so much. The next thing is the election of the 2023 officers. So we have nominations and actually acceptance of officers.
Yeah, well, these are the,
Accepted.
these are all the nominated officers at this point,
Right.
yeah.
So we
It's-
have
You can take nominations from the floor as well.
right. So right now we have nominations for president, vice president, secretary, and the treasurer. I know.
But the treasurer
So,
is,
but the treasurer, of course, the last name you see there is incorrect, so.
Well,
Mitchell and Robert are
Mitchell, do you have
are
a brother?
brothers.
I'd like to be
Right.
Mitchell and Robert are brothers.
Yeah. So we would also entertain nominations from the floor. Anyone who wishes to nominate somebody else
Or themselves.
or themselves for president, vice president, secretary, and the treasurer. Let's spend a little bit of time going over these, maybe just like 5 minutes, if we can. Right now, there's a nomination for Michelle as the president. All right. Do
Any
we have
nominations?
any other nominations? First, okay, Ruthann.
No, go Michelle.
All right. Okay.
I was kind of hoping you had a nomination there, Ruth Ann.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought that you were nominating yourself, Ruthann. Okay, anybody wishes to choose somebody else for that role as well, and then we would vote on it. Going once, twice, sold to Michelle. All right. All right.
All right, I'll try and do it as good a job as Mayrod. Actually, we're gonna kind of work together again, so it'll be fine.
What?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
So Yeah, you might just
Um,
ask if there's any nominations. or
Right,
anything.
so we're just
Michelle
wondering if
volunteer,
there
or
are
she
any other
volunteer?
nominations right now, and then at our next meeting, we'll have the.
No, we're electing the officers now, nominations for the general board members after. So,
Right.
yeah, you can just ask if there's any other officer nominations.
Okay, next we have the vice president, myself, who's nominated for that, and then, Mitchell Snow for secretary. And the treasurer, Robert.
And
Robert Snow.
Robert. Jr.
I have no problem with us being brothers for the day.
Are you guys twins?
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, yes.
I move that we accept the slate of officers for the 2023 point officers.
I'll second it.
You guys second over there.
Okay, the second on. the-
Allison, yeah.
Okay, Allison. Andrew Sam. Okay. All right, okay, moving along. Discussion for the.
Yeah, because I made a move that we accept the slate.
Yeah.
So
So,
there's discussion.
is there any discussions about the nominations and acceptance?
Yes.
Aye.
Yeah, you can, yeah, you have
Okay.
to vote for yourself.
Because there's.
All right.
People on the slate too.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
opposed,
Okay,
ask for-
Anybody
opposed? All righty,
Unanimous.
okay,
I read it.
so, we would like to entertain nominations for two board members, for two, general board members. Could you please, see if anyone would like to volunteer for being a general board member?
And we
I
will vote on
told-
this.
I told Abigail that I would give it another go next year.
Okay.
So, if you'll have me.
Right,
Yeah,
I know. It's really easy if you want to, feel good about yourself, just nominate yourself and then, easy approval here. Lots of love.
And it can be someone from your communities as well.
right, anybody else wants to be a
General board
general
member.
board
Yeah,
member?
okay. Well, I mean, I can
Underneath?
think, no, I can think of somebody from the community. I just need to reach out to them first. So does it need to be decided now?
No, but if you can get a name to Moran and Abigail as soon as you can, it'd be
We're
nice
making
before the December meeting.
Oh, by Thursday. I can get it by the end of the week.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
I
good.
can see if I can nominate some. What's the, they're gonna ask, what's some of the, requirements or duties of being on general board?
They will participate in the meetings. They would get to know more about the role and responsibilities of being a active point member, and hopefully after being in the meetings a while and getting to know the community more, they could even, encourage themselves, be other board members, or be nominated for other positions like president or vice president, after they learn more about the roles.
Yeah, occasionally, the executive board meets or makes decisions when the whole point can, or they bring together, they bylaw changes, or they bring things to the general meeting here. A big part of the general board members is to fill out to make sure that we are representing as many different faiths as possible.
Okay.
Is really part of it. And so we hear as many voices. But and so far as there's not a set number of meetings for the executive board. I don't know. I mean, it has ranged from 0 per year to probably 4. No, I probably called about 5. But I was different. So if you're vice president, does that mean I'm still the next? Am I still part of it as the past president? Because
Yeah.
I'm just because part of the executive board is also the immediate past president,
Mm.
and since that would be Moran, but he's still on the executive board because he's vice president. I'm not sure I could have that role. That's what I'm just thinking.
Okay, so it's basically attending any board meetings that may come up. And then helping out where possible. Could they attend these monthly meetings as
It would
well?
be benefit. It would be
Okay, and
beneficial
then
too.
to see where they can assist in some of the operations of Point to see what goes on. Okay, and then is there a membership that we need to get for them if they're coming on the general board or?
As long as they're a member, as long as
Yeah, as long as
yes,
they're
Sikh
a member,
Foundation.
Okay, I can definitely, the other thing I can do is announce to our congregation, see if anybody wants to represent Sikh Foundation San Diego, or just be on the board in general as part of this organization,
Yeah.
be a general board member that there's.
And we don't really have an age limit.
Okay.
It can even be, I'd say 15 or older. Again, it's not written in our bylaws one way or the other, but
Yeah, I think you want somebody that can literally drive around and be available if they're gonna.
right,
assist
I'm
with
just
some-
throwing
yeah,
that out there for anybody, but
So it must be 16.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if they're younger, it's good.
Yeah, really younger members.
Yeah. we
And
would
also,
love-
it would be great to have representation from the Sikh Foundation, just because you've all been such great hosts for this past
Yeah.
year. It would honestly be really nice to have that representation on the board too.
yeah.
Okay.
And the more connections we have to the youth and people that are involved in youth activities and what have you, the better. You know, that would encourage other participations from youth from other parishes, groups, and organizations as well.
Right, but that's good. With our officers, we have centers of spiritual living, Baha'i, interfaith community service, but Mitchell yourself, and it's Christian Protestant, right? And then
Okay.
Holy Parent.
What the heck are we? Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, it's Christian.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Christian.
Okay. I'll let you know by next week, because I'll announce it on Sunday
Right.
as part of the service, and I'll ask around as well and go from there.
Very good. Okay, moving right along. So pre-order your multi-faith calendars. As you know, they're beautiful and they have dates and events. Like for instance, for this November, they list November 1st, All Saints Day, for instance, November 11th, Veterans Day, 13th International Restorative Justice Week. It gives you information and insights about what's happening and what's important, and then you could Google it. You could find out if there are events going on in your community, nearby organizations, and parishes, churches, community centers, wherever there are, you can participate more. The more participation we have in the community, the better we feel we have a real say, a real word, and a voice in the community. And then we could also encourage others to participate as well. So in addition to that, we have 10 of these beautifully printed, as you can see, virtue cards. And they have all the virtues. They have 99 virtues, all printed with beautiful colors and wonderful glossy paper that you can own and you can have. And there are 10 of them. If anyone wants to order, that's great. We have them as a donation, and so if you could donate 25 to whatever more, it would go to Point to fund the Point and Point programs.
Oh, awesome. That's great.
All right. Right. This is on behalf of the Baha'is of Poway.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that's
So beautiful photography.
Wow.
The calendars have beautiful artwork as well.
Right, so there are 10 of them, and if you'd like to order them, that's great. You can have all these virtue cards. Great conversation pieces as well. You know, beautiful pictures, and then you can talk about virtues. And the good thing
Miran?
about it is that they
How much
start
are
with,
they? Did I miss that? The virtue cards? The price?
it's on a donation, basically. If you could
What's
donate,
the estimated value, sweetie?
estimated 25 up, 25, 30. You know.
Okay, great. All right.
Okay. So you can put your orders in directly through, you know, Robert or myself. Okay. Next thing, right along. Okay. Next thing is remember to make all your dues.
Yep.
Right. December 8th is the elections for the general board members. Announcements. Do we have any announcements at this time?
I just wanted to make sure, I know Abigail sent an email out that everyone knows that my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is having a community event December 15th through the 17th. It's a walk through Bethlehem. It's going to be fantastic. And it's in the evening on the 15th through the 17th from 6 to 9 at the chapel on Bernardo Heights Road. It's where they had the tabernacle, Moses Tabernacle. And it's absolutely free. They're just asking if you can to donate like a pillow or towel, brand new pillows, towels, hygiene kits for the to donate to the needy in our community, which will go directly to San Diego County residents. And she sent out a email with the flyer, but it's going to be fantastic. So you can take your family, your friends can come and literally walk through Bethlehem on Christmas Eve. Okay.
Is that the evening of the 15th to the 17th of November or December?
December. Yeah, next month.
Yeah, perfect.
And all families, faiths are invited.
Okay.
See, are there real live animals in the crash?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be very interactive.
Because I live up the street, I always walk down.
Yeah, I'm bringing my camel.
Cool.
So
right.
if they're, you know what, I don't know all the details, but I know it's gonna be a fabulous event for everyone. They're gonna see, you know, shepherds and wise men and all kinds of stuff. The animals might be humans in costume, but I think they're trying to have real ones. So we'll see.
You had live animals at the tabernacle.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Jarvis is setting the bar.
The funny thing about the tabernacle is where it sat, the grass died and it's still brown.
Yeah.
Go look. Next time you drive in, there's brown grass where the tabernacle was.
No, it's all green now.
No, it's not.
I see it every Sunday.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Thank you so much. All right. Other announcements?
I just want to, can I just point out, Susan Lipson, who will be performing her own, her song that she wrote at the Interfaith Thanksgiving service on Tuesday, is also, she's just releasing an album and we're having a celebration for that. Cocktail party, and she's going to do a concert, about a 90-minute concert at Temple Mount Shalom, Saturday, December, I think it's the 3rd, it's the 2nd or 3rd, it's that Saturday. It should be really lovely. We'll have all kinds of hors d'oeuvres and desserts and things. And she'll be performing a number of songs that she wrote and recorded on her album. So I just want to mention that.
December 3rd. December 3rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said there are fees too to purchase tickets.
Yeah, there. You can go to our temple website at dotshalom.com or call the office at the temple and to reserve tickets.
Right.
I have a great
Okay. So you can check that out. It's also on your point meeting calendar.
Yeah, she was the point rep from Adat Shalom for quite a number of years, but prior to me. And I can't sing at all, so I won't be singing at the concert.
Sorry.
Thankfully.
Yeah, it's also on your newsletter. Next, it's the connections. Michelle, I don't think that we have that much time, but
Well, I think I didn't see anything on the, oh yeah, thankfulness. Yeah, I don't think we have time.
We can be thankful still.
Well, we have 20 minutes, but what we usually do is break out into small groups. We could just discuss it in a large group.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be a great idea. So, let's, yeah, we could go first here and then go there and then, interchange, So Jarvis, starting with you, what does your faith teach you about being thankful, and how do you feel thankful?
I feel thankful. Thankful for this group. Thankful for my fellow Catholic here. I love my Catholic faith, but I love other faiths too. I love learning about other people's faiths, and I'm very thankful for everybody.
Right. So, Lisa, you graduated, you got married, congratulations. All kinds of things happened to you. Just share with us, things that you're thankful for and your happiness.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been a little MIA because of this year. All wonderful things, getting married, buying a new house, starting a new job, graduating with my master's. And I just finished my last exam on Monday. So I'm free forever. No more exams for the rest of my life. Always be learning and studying, but no more tests besides tests from above. So, but I think, as a Baha'i, we know our purpose in this world is to grow and to know and to love God too. And so I feel like all of these opportunities are just allowing me to be of service in a greater capacity. And, I just feel that gratitude for all the people around me, all of the community that helps to move me forward. Knowing that, even when we think we're alone, like walking into the test on Monday, I felt like God was walking in with me too, and don't have to be alone in anything that we do. So I think that's the gratitude that I always feel, just grateful to be here, grateful to be growing and learning, and grateful to feel that joy of growth every day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Robert?
Okay. All right. Well, within our faith, well, we said, there's always been the great question people have asked us, what is the purpose of life? Okay. So within our group is, well, why did God create? Created so that he could have joy, although, even though you have to think, I don't know if we are able to give him that much joy. We give him a lot of problems, but the purpose of our life is joy. And the thankfulness, usually, we really have to look at the little things that we have, like the things that we absolutely need, like that next breath you take, it's always there for you, you know, and so we should be thankful. It's, you know, it's not taxed, and there's nobody saying, okay, you have to pay for that or something like that. It's always there for you. And some say that you hear birds singing in the morning because they're just grateful to be alive, you know, and they're singing out of just sheer happiness. So we have to kind of think like that too, that there's a lot of things in life. Just being here in this country, the things that we have, I'm grateful I wasn't born in North Korea, for instance. I mean, there's so much stuff that just really need to be grateful and thankful to God. And wherever we see things that aren't as good as we have it, it's like it's our duty and our mission to make sure that everybody has what we have. So I think that's what we're all about.
Thank you so much. Vasu, what about you?
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here with you today, to meeting you, each of you. It's a pleasure for me, really. I really appreciate the efforts for Interfaith, and I will be so happy to still collaborating with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No.
I don't really have much more to say than what Jarvis already said, so. And what everybody else has said. That's really,
Ditto.
yeah.
Okay. Michelle?
Did you say Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Well, for us in Centers for Spiritual Living, gratitude, Thanksgiving is a big part of what we do. And I'm reminded of the 13th century theologian, German theologian, Meister Eckhart, who said that if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that will be enough. And when you're in gratitude, you're open, you're receptive, you resonate at an energy that is inspiring and motivating and wants to continue to expand and grow. And so for us, gratitude is actually part of a 5-step affirmative prayer that we do. And it's expanding. And I think when we practice the resonance of gratitude over and over again, it becomes the state of being from which we live our lives. And I think that it's incredibly valuable, important to give thanks in all things, no matter what's coming up. How many times have you said to yourself, when something terrible happens later on down the line, you know, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me. You know, in hindsight, it's as if all things are working for our good, no matter how they look at the time. So in all things, give thanks. It's a very important part of our spiritual philosophy, as well it should be. That's all I got.
That was great.
I'll go. Now gratitude, being thankful is healthy. It is. And so when, you know, someone comes to me and like, Pastor Sherry, I'm just, and they're feeling angst, or things just don't seem going right, they just can't get out of whatever funk, I'll call it, as a general, or they're very agitated. One of the things that I practice personally, and I counsel others to do, is to, you know, a gratitude journal. And it can, you know, and I usually recommend 3 things you're grateful for each and every day. I don't think there's a magic time. It can be the beginning of the day, it can be at the end, whatever works for your schedule. If it, you know, if it works, you know, best at, you know, 2:35, you know, on Thursdays, I don't, you know, but to every day stop and identify at least 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And I think it's helpful to write it down. It's helpful even if you don't write it down, but it's more helpful if you do. I think to have a record. But that's the way I use it, because there is so much as people of faith, regardless of the faith name and practices. I think gratitude is something that we all have in common. That and even people without faith, gratitude, thankfulness is a part of it. But I think if you claim a particular spiritual path, it's hard to say that thankfulness is not a part of it.
All right. Wendy?
So I think thankfulness from a Sikh perspective is the ability just to, kind of like you said, have gratitude for being here, for being here with the understanding, you're here with a purpose, with a contribution, you're not just wasting your life away, being of service to others, and then making sure that you're living life to the fullest, because that's what's expected of you. Otherwise, you kind of live the life of somebody that goes around feeling either not alive inside, there's no purpose to life, and there should be a purpose to us being here in this human form. That's what separates us from other species, and being able to see the creator in everyone, because ultimately that's what we're supposed to be seeing. Everyone is God's child, as we've gone through and said on many times. And the fact that we're able to see that, or at least try and move towards that, is a reason for thankfulness, and being content with what you've got, not worrying about what you may be trying to achieve in the sense of materialistic things, is to put that on one side and understand kind of the real point of being here. So I think that's what I think Sikhism brings to thankfulness, is the grounding in kind of reality that we're here for a reason, we're here for a purpose. What is that purpose? And to live that mission. So.
Right. And Sam? Roseanne, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I thought all I heard was Sam, and I'm like, who's Sam? I'm grateful for Sam. Anyway. I think thankfulness and gratitude is just a beautiful thing. Our faith focuses on each other as, sons and daughters of a loving Heavenly Father who sent us down here to have experiences and grow, and not to collect stuff. Things don't bring joy and happiness. It's great to have them. I'm grateful for my things. But what I'm really, truly thankful for is my family and my brothers and sisters on this planet, and how they make my life better and share empathy through trials. And I think the more we see God's hand in our life, the more gratitude and thankfulness we have. And it inspires us to help and lift others. There's a song, count your blessings, and you all are blessings in my life. I love the relationships we've gained in our little, boxes on Zoom over the past 3 years. I've been part of this group and in person, and your generosity inspires me, and I'm grateful for each one of you, and hope to continue our relationship in ways that we can lift and serve those around us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So normally, this is a practice that Michelle and I do at the beginning of when we do the connections, and we go over the topic of the month, is to read and review what the meaning or the emphasis is. But wanted to do that at the very end this time. So I'll read to you. First of all, the quote from Abdul Baha, let them at all times concern themselves with doing a kindly thing for one of their fellows, offering to someone love, consideration, thoughtful help. Thoughtfulness is kindness guided by empathy. It is carefully considering a course of action with discernment and honesty. It is giving importance to other people's needs. We think about them, observe what they need, and offer our help. We pay careful attention to their likes and dislikes and do things that give them happiness. We carefully consider how our actions will affect them. Thoughtfulness helps us to move beyond self-centeredness, to become true companions. Little gifts of thoughtfulness can brighten someone's day. Lifelong thoughtfulness illumines our relationships with abiding joy and trust. As a reminder, next month we have the elections for the general boards. Our meeting will be on Zoom, and the December guest speaker would be Reverend Dale Sogt from Beloved Way. And our scribe would be
He must have signed up then.
Yeah. All right. And then we have opening prayer by Sidal, and Kuprit is going to do the closing prayer. And December topic is joyfulness. So think about joyfulness ahead of the next meeting and try to live your life to the fullest with thoughtful consideration of others and with absolute joy. We have a closing prayer tonight by Ruthann. Before we close, I would like to thank all of you for your participation. We had a wonderful meeting tonight. I really appreciate all your efforts and your collaboration, your love, your consideration, and your words of wisdom. Thank you so much. We have our closing prayer.
Sorry, before we finish, when is the next meeting on December? Have you got a date?
8.
Thank you.
Before I start, anyone need a prayer? Anyone have some, that anyone besides Abigail and Steve, they're going, anyone, any concern or something I can offer a prayer for?
My friend Jill.
Okay.
Stage 4 cancer.
Oh, dang.
So her birthday is Saturday. She will be turning 54.
Oh, happy birthday. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone? All right. Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for the opportunity we had to gather together as an interfaith community. We're grateful for the spirit that is poured upon us as we meet together in unity and love and share our ideas of strengthening and improving our communities and understanding of each other and the sacred things we hold dear in our hearts. We're grateful and pray for each member in our Point community and their families, that if they are struggling, that they will have the guidance and blessings from above. And help us seek those that we can lift and love at this time, especially this time of year. We're especially grateful for Abigail and Steve and their contributions, and we ask a special blessing upon Abigail that she will heal from her colitis and that she will feel comfort and not be in suffering, and that she feels our love and support, and bless Steve to have the strength to lift and support his wife through this health challenge. Bless Jill that she will have the strength she needs as she fights the cancer, that she will feel of thy love and the support and inspire those around her to find ways to lift and comfort her during this battle for her life, and bless her. Grateful for the love and guidance we receive. Help us be instruments in thy hands and lifting and serving those around us, and be mindful of the promptings from above to follow them. And we ask for these favors and blessings in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We're gonna eat cheesecake.
Oh,
So,
I wish I was there. I have my
Now
granddaughter.
we welcome all of you on the Zoom to come over here and
That's right.
participate.
Otherwise, you
All
just gotta
food,
watch
all
us
this
eat.
cheesecake.
Right.
By the time I get there, I'm sure the cheesecake will be gone.
Alrighty. Again, thank you so much for your participation, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you back December 8th. Thank you.
Well, don't forget
Don't
Thanksgiving.
forget the 15th, right? So don't forget November 15th.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
forget Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night,
Take care.
everybody.
Okay, good night.